probably my whole minor starting team if they all sign up. Meal might not sign up, which would suck, but I definitely think Abe and Ballgad will play majors for sure, and I could see Paul McCartney getting on a team.
Intercest is a lock to play majors. I think he probably should have played majors last season. Abe Lincoln in the West, he'll probably go to an Eastern, but he's definitely good enough to play majors. Not Prey can definitely play majors. He played a lot of majors last season.
Definitely think Abe Lincoln is going to kill it. Intercest is going to be good. Meal, if he plays, I think they're all going to be pretty good in majors too.
Intercest, Ball God, Abe Lincoln, at least guys from the West and East Intercest. Basically, I mean, the stats bear this out almost every time. If somebody's a star in minors, they're going to be a star in majors. And if they're not going to be a star, then they'll still be like on the top end. They'll be better than average. So be very afraid of Intercest. I don't think anybody's sleeping on him. I don't think anybody's going to sleep on Abe Lincoln either.
Well, I think one kind of already played majors, even though they might not be considered majors, is HavMed. Yeah, HavMed was good. I was going to pick him last season, but Baby Ballers picked him right before me. You have like people like Abe Lincoln, who's definitely going to step right in.
I think the obvious answer is Intercest. I think everyone knows he's moving up to majors. It's just for how much basically how much are people going to bid him up so JJ can't get him for cheap. Well, Abe Lincoln will do well. If C-Bivy has the right partner, like I could see C-Bivy ending up on JJ's team. And I think JJ and C-Bivy would do very, very well. And Adam Baum, I don't know if Adam Baum's playing. I think Adam Baum would do well. There's a lot of defense.
So my first would be Abe Lincoln. I think the way that he plays defense, he is by far the best player in minors.
I'm not going to answer that question because I'm not going to give away my draft strategy.
Okay, but you can say like Intercest.
I mean, he definitely was really good. Like, obviously had the best statistical season of anyone in minors. And we'll see. I'll be interested to see. I will say I'll be interested to see where he goes in the draft, because I mean, obviously he'll be chosen for a major spot. Like, there's zero question in my mind that's going to happen. And I'll be interested to see who goes after him. There are a few captains I have in mind that I think might try to fight for him, and I think he could end up going for a fairly high tag coin total.
Well, the easy ones are probably like Abe Lincoln, Ball God on OK Hens, I think. Like, most of that team will be successful. CAC Boosters was really good. Boost and Dynamo was really good. If you're on like a really good team, you're probably gonna have a really good season in majors.
You know, I haven't followed a ton of the eastern side of the minor leagues. So on the western side, you know, I saw quite a bit. But from the eastern side, what I saw from both teams that were in the Mover Ball was a lot of people that can play on both sides. You know, they can play on Origin, they can play on Radius. So they're pretty comfortable on Radius. And at least from my perspective, a lot of the players that played in that game were players that I think will probably see some potential like limited time or being kind of a backup player this season for majors, and then have a breakout season, you know, kind of later on. I'm sure we'll see a few people that played in that game, you know, end the season on the major leagues team.
For me, I would say most of OK Hens, because they were just, I think, a notch on the ladder above the rest of the teams in minors this season. And also a lot of the players from Boost and Dynamo, because JJ really loves to breed new minors talent, so you can look usually to players from his teams to step up in the next season.
Best way to get drafted by tiers, or no, most other teams too, is it's to the point now, or at least the way that I view players and teams and the league is, I want somebody that's going to be there, right? I want somebody that I at least have a passing familiarity with. Basically, I can't draft somebody that I don't know and have never spoken to. Best way to be drafted is to be in the same circle of like things around there. Not to say it's too cliquey or whatnot, but you need to have chemistry. I mean, you're going to be spending upwards of, in a good season, 100 hours or so with somebody, and you want to be able to enjoy them, enjoy being around them, being able to put up with them and compete and get good with somebody. And you do that better if you like the person, if you have chemistry, if interpersonally you can get along, and you also show a dedication to winning and playing the game on the same page. You have to be of the same mindset. So best advice would be, if you want to get drafted by somebody, be in the same Mumble channel with them at the same time, play the same tournament with them, just be in orbit, because if you don't talk to somebody, they don't know what you are. So be known would be the best way, I'd say.
Tears has come probably the closest to any other team in the league to winning without actually winning. What do you think Tears has been missing in the past, or lacking, or just like what went wrong that prevented Tears from actually taking home a Super Bowl?
Man, now it'd be a little bit easier to come up with a good answer for that if the two teams that went were, composed of some of the same players. But the first time we went to the Super Bowl and didn't make it, it was Tipper, JJ, Grant, myself. And then the second time was all Tiger, Milk, Sidewalk, and Gone, right? So even though Tears went twice within 2 seasons, you're talking about a different gathering of people. The only thing consistent would be me, right? And so I would say, what were we missing? I mean, we went to OT for both of them. I don't know. If I knew, we would have won. I'll put it that way.
Do you think it could have, or maybe definitely, or probably would have been different if the pick ban system existed during, season 6 through season 8?
Let's see. Talking about, season 6, we just played straight velocity, and Tears, we were solid on that map, although it wasn't our favorite map, so potentially that could have gone different if we would have been able to choose a map that was more to our liking. Season 8, we loved Pilot. We knew Pilot was going to be our jam, and we won it, right? So that would definitely have something to say with it. I mean, Season 8, we could have ended up at the same exact maps with the pick ban system. I think they beat us on velocity, and then we did. I try to forget about Season 8. Even though it was a glorious season. But pick ban system, I really like. I think it gives teams motivation to do something. I mean, to me, it's the most fair. The people involved in it actually get to do it, and not the community, which a lot of times is stupid, as evidenced by a lot of their other recent decisions.